Second seat behind Arlock. And what do we got? Got a bookcase, a wood cart, truffle slicer, wood carrier, animal tamer, open air farmer, art teacher, land heir. Well, there's the idea of doing something like art teacher bookcase, but wood carrier and wood cart have really high power in the right situations. Wood cart is a bit of a non-bow with wood carrier. Like, if you have wood cart, you don't need wood carrier usually. Wheeling truffle slicer is possible. Art teacher is a bit of a stretch here. Alright, I don't think this is very synergistic, but it should be fine. Carrots? Well, should have taken bookcase, who knew? I don't think there was a good reason to take bookcase over woodcart. Sure, there was art teacher and clay puncher, but I don't think those were good enough reasons on their own. This pack here, we have a bed maker, but with no grain source, I don't really want to take that right now. Seed researcher, not super interesting at the moment. Rustic, this is not a rustic situation. So this is fellow grazer, truffle searcher, or lieutenant general. Don't think truffle searcher is correct. It's a little early for fellow grazer because we don't... we could see 2 more packs and maybe run into a ranch provost or a animal husbandry worker that kind of negates fellow grazer a bit. But I think it's sufficiently better than Lieutenant General. Not by a ton. I think Lieutenant General would be a very reasonable pick here. Clearing Spade is fun with Carrot. Potato Ridger would be great if I had that bookcase, but I don't. There is a bit of a lack of grain here, so Flail and Seducer both go down in value. I think this might just be a Spin Doctor pick. Spin Doctor Turn Rest Plow. Turn Rest Plow looks good with a general big house game. 2 column pastures for fellow grazer, 5 rooms, wood cart, turn rest plow, round 14 cultivation. Yeah, Furniture Maker is not necessary in this hand in the slightest. Though I do want to start drafting some early Ox, because none of my stuff says early Ock yet. Clay Puncher would be a reasonable 5th Ock, actually, even without Art Teacher. Oh, Art Teacher in the game makes Spin Doctor worse, doesn't it? I just don't know what else I'm picking here. Constable's really good, but I think Midwife is here too. This is overall a fine pack. Probably Stone Weir ahead of Forest Well. Big House might want the security of a Stone Weir. I think you can spin onto Stone Weir. Onto fishing if you have Stone Weir, but not completely sure about that. Might not be able to. Carrot Museum, unfortunately, is just a pure block pick here without further veg help. And there's basically no chance Bookcase came back, and indeed it didn't. Land Heir came back, though, and Art Teacher. I want both. Sundial's probably the sows are too early. Straw Thatched Roof maybe is the pick here. Alright, I think Land Heir makes too much sense. I mean, Art Teacher makes some good sense too, but I'm not locked into Spin Doctor. The question is how quick I can get the turn rest plow down. Also, I'm just noticing now I don't have any good early miners. Calcium fertilizers, if I only get a cultivation in round 14, I can take like whatever 1 stone, 2 stone action just for 2 points of crops. Lieutenant General came back. Do I bother with Bedmaker here? Also, Clearing Spade Calcium Fertilizers is a combo. I don't think I have enough food for Heart of Stone, though I did literally just think about it. I don't think I have enough grain for Bedmaker. I'm not going to try. Sure. So, trying to play Land Heir and Midwife fairly early. Lieutenant General, probably the third Oct for Woodcart. Late game, play Fellow Grazer and or Wood Carrier. And or Spin Doctor. Carrot Museum might never happen, and that's fine. My other miners are pretty playable, unless I plow in round 1. So let's not do that. And Grain Sieve works. Maybe this is supposed to be Merchant. I don't have a ton of building resources. I don't think Merchant does anything here. Does Wood Harvester do anything? Maybe it comes in as the third Oct instead of Lieutenant General in some weird circumstances. There's a lot of wood in this game. At least for me. There's a furniture maker hanging out somewhere. Well, not what I wanted to see with Fellow Grazer, but okay. Those 3 points are sometimes hard to get anyway. Taking Reedstone just for... I'm happy to get an early room here. With Midwife, I do want to protect against early grow. Sometimes Midwife can fail. But if I'm competing for a room in round 5, then by round 5, then that helps Midwife keep going. We see Brass Knight takes start player instead of 3 wood here for a blueprint. Arlok may have wanted 2 clay. Oh, wow. I mean, okay. Sure. I'll take Reedstone and 3 wood in round 1. I'm fine with that. Hey, WeKotor. Very funny. Glad you enjoyed them. Hey, Rainier, thanks. Yep. I'm not behind the newbie, but I'm still somehow benefiting from it. Gemus got 2 clay with early sheep and now round 2 major. That should help with Furniture Maker quite a bit. 2 reed for Brass Knight. I think this might be plow for Cesspit, in which case I'm very happy to Reedstone again. Yep, this is Cesspit. We did get past the Carrot Museum, so makes a bit more sense. They also probably have Truffle Slicer. I don't blame Arlok for ignoring the 3 wood second action, because Cesspit is worth it. It also looks like I get Ak here. And I will play Land Heir, second action. We get a Buyer. Buyer while not having Cookery tempo is kind of dangerous. Arlok will start for 4 clay, presumably. Which does mean Gemus needs to buy Fireplace here or first action. My first action next round can just be another Reedstone, so I think it will be. Though 4 wood is tempting too. Hey, Gagnetto. Oh, we got the clay block. Okay. That is also reasonable for Gemus, as a way of deflecting the pressure on the first Cookery. It's just as good as, or possibly better, than spending an action to upgrade the Fireplace later. Depending on what else is in hand, of course. With Reedstone now being the first action for Arlok, that pushes me onto 4 wood. I am not going to complain. If I can't play Midwife second action, then I'll consider just building. 3 clay for Brass Knight? Okay. So the big concern about taking Ak here is food. I should probably just take food. because I should be able to second action Ock next round. This is one less food comparing to this to like the dream scenario, but it should be fine. There is significant stage 1 food pressure at the table, despite the early sheep and cesspit. We have weird buyer stuff happening. Arlok might, well, no, Arlok's probably fine. Start for Brass Knight. I hope they're not going for, oh, whoa. Unexpected food. Huh. First action, a fireplace here. Makes enough sense with buyer. Arlok will take read in some form, so I will build. Yes, I do want vertical house here. Nine food action for Gemus. Brass Knight may take 4 clay here. I will be happy to take Reed Bank if it's still there, maybe. I really should play Midwife, but I guess that can wait given I have the first room. I don't plan on parking with Arlok having the room parts right in front of me. Yeah, okay. Clay is going to be a little tighter here because the new player seems to value clay. 4 food for Arlok. Oh, if I take Reed... No, they can still buy. They've got Rolling Pin. Will they recognize that? I don't know, actually. If I take Reed or play an Ock, Gemus can start for 6 wood. If I Ock, there's a decent chance Gemus takes the Reed. Which leaves 6 wood for Brass Knight to start next round. Now, all of that is like a lot of good resources for my opponents, but it also kind of guarantees Midwife is on track. On the other hand, two Reed has more explosive openings if growth flips early. It lets me play Stoneweir, though I can already play Calcium Fertilizers. Huh. There is a lot of wood in this game. That's going to push me towards the Reed here. And Brass Knight does buy it. And there's the bookcase. Arlok may now be worried that they passed a Carrot Museum to a bookcase, but I did take that Carrot Museum. That also might not be the worry. We'll see. 6 wood, 4 wood is probably how this round starts. Brass Knight without any stone yet for that first action blueprint. We hit early grow! Alright, that is fairly good news here. Not really for the midwife. The midwife may struggle a bit. Okay, yeah, 4 wood. There you go. No? Not 4 wood? Oh dear. They're gonna have a rough game. This might just be fine for me. Not really sure what Arlok is up to. I don't see why they wouldn't take 4 wood here. Right, so this does let me have an action before growing. But Midwife is not in a great spot. I think I probably play it anyway. There is not much else I should be doing here. This land air in round 9 is going to be extra huge with early grow. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe it's pretty huge in most cases. Brass Knight not taking 4 wood does have cascading effects for Midwife not being as good this game. It's still going to be worth playing. I don't really have another grain source here. Gemma's playing a Constable. Gets a veg, of course. Yeah, start BMW. Yeah, I mean, with Buyer it makes sense. But, yeah, their card playing has put them behind on room parts, and with early grow, that's going to be really rough. So Stone Weir makes some sense. I probably need it this stage, unfortunately. And as much as I would like to contest the well, I don't think my resources are quite lining up properly for that. So I'm going to take the safe play here. And probably fish third action in round 6 here. 2 stables for Arlok makes a ton of sense with that cesspit. There was a Truffle Searcher in this draft, so I suspect it's there. With Brass Knight starting, I do expect to get 3 wood and the next build. But there are ways that doesn't happen. Like, it could go 3 wood, 3 wood here. If it goes 3 wood, 3 wood... I don't know what my response is. It did not go 3 wood, 3 wood. Not even close. Alright, well, 3 wood is mandatory, so I can get ahead of Gemus and Brass Knight. Taking up 2 spots in the growth queue here does improve Midwife's long-term outcomes. Yeah, there's plenty of wood in this game. There's been 13 injected already, and I have Wood Carrier, Wood Cart in hand. Gemus not taking 2 read, plays a first pick Brushwood Collector. How did that take this long to play? Brass Knight on track to take Pottery now. Yeah, Land Air looking very good with the clay overvaluing from others. And there's a clay supports. Okay, that does change some things here. Doesn't change the fact that I have to build. Don't need to play Brushwood until you're ready to triple build. That's the big brain move, of course. Three wood is super tempting here, but I am also an Ock away from being able to play Woodcart. So fishing still looks excellent to have tempo into next round. Probably fish again, unless there are other things staring me in the face, like 3 read and a food. I suspect Arlok gets 3 read. Yeah, the clay supports is definitely concerning. With Cesspit and second grow here, and early grow, they have breeding capacity, but I suppose they want a hearth first. Gemma's saying in chat, I try hard not to tilt. Cool. Animal Tamer is neat for this overall plan. First cookery. Big house. But yeah, so Gemus' sequencing led them to be vulnerable to this kind of situation. If they had played Rushwood Collector earlier, maybe even foregoing Bookcase, then they'd be in contention for the first room, or maybe even have it themselves. We got a Reno here, as this is a way for Brass Knight to build rooms. And build the pottery. First action, traveling. As Gemus is probably taking animals and building. Okay, so I can grow 3 Rita's out there. And I think I have to take it. What I want to do, and what I'm not going to do, is take wood, ock, and grow wood cart. Oh, actually, I can't feed myself that way. That's why I'm not doing it. Also because I wouldn't be able to grow third action. There are so many reasons why I didn't do that line. Taking build before the sheep is correct because Brass Knight can build. I do intend on getting a 5th room here. Though I suppose it's not mandatory. There are good ways to try to take Ranch Provost while having clearing spade, or sorry, turn rest plow, fellow grazer, 3 fields. For wood looks like a very good action here. Not convinced it's fully correct. Because I think Brass Knight is gonna take 6 wood first action. I would like them to build, but I don't have enough ways to convince them to do so. Three stone is also on this board. If it goes 6 wood, 3 stone, then I think I take 4 clay. This is the last round to play Carrot Museum. Still thinking Lieutenant General's my 3rd Ock here. Though there might be situations where it's Wood Carrier for even a small amount of wood. I do need more sustainable feeding than fishing every round. That, in fact, will not be sufficient through the rest of the game. Oh, yes, this is very good for me. This is very good for me. Six wood for Arlok makes sense. Now... Four clay is really good here. Four clay is really good here. Arlok has tempo on the well, but now they have no Reno tempo, which is also very important to me. I do now have enough clay for Reno Clay Oven on 5 rooms. Right now I think I'm skipping Carrot, but there are a few sequences that entice me to not skip Carrots. Gemus played a Sundial on Grow, which heavily implies they're going to plow. Brass Knight starts to grow. They've got an Earth Oven. So that means Fireplace is back available. Okay, 3 stone for Arlok, that's fine. Finish this game out? I mean, our game plan is fairly simple. I'm looking at 5 wood rooms, Reno to a clay oven, a turn rest plow, and a 4th field, and like Cloister Dweller, Fellow Grazer. And maybe I sneak in the Ranch Provost with 3 stables in one of those pastures. We have plenty of time as long as I feed. And I have Stone Weir to get us there the slow way, along with something like Clay Oven help. So I could plow here, but I think I'll just Ock. I know Gemus wants to plow, and I shouldn't let them determine what I do based on, like, any threat to quit, but being able to play Woodcart here looks good enough. Cesspit not being eligible for Constable is a nice little possible 6-point swing. It's at least a 3-point swing, because I do think Arlok is my competition here. At least that's what it looks like right now. And this seems like a pretty clear plow to me for Gemus. So either wood cart fish or reedstone fish. Nope, not that. Alright, yep. Straightforward enough. I could reno the wood cart, but that's not the correct amount of resources. So we just major the wood cart. Bye-bye, Carrot Museum. You don't fit today. I could take 2+2 wood. No. Not sure what you're knowing about. Oh, you love Carrot Museum. Yes, I love Carrot Museum too. I love Carrot Museum too. But number one rule of Agricola, be ready to break the rules. I don't totally need to build here. So I will greed this wood action first. Clay oven is not in immediate danger either. So build, reno, clay oven, something is my plan here. I think Gemma's Plow is giving me a food, but I'm not sure. You're a notorious carrot hater and happy it continues to let people down. If I had only picked bookcase over this wood cart. So I could build stables. I would like to build more than 3 stables. It's so orange and pointy, how can you hate it? I agree. Like, Rainier, come on. It's orange, it matches the minor improvement color. It's a very healthy looking carrot. It even has 2 points on it. I rest my case. Alright, Reno is actually in danger now. No, I'm just not getting Reno. I guess I'm fishing one more time then. The Reno can wait till next round. I will take wood here. This does get me pieces for a 4th stable, though not for turn rest plow. That's still not quite there. Gemmu starts instead of building to protect grow. Either one makes sense depending on what else they've got. Somewhat interesting to me, they took 3 wood instead of plowing here. And they have Potato Ridger, very nice. I would of course be plenty happy if Arlok doesn't Reno, but Reno well seems extremely they've gone extremely far in that direction, so building lets me take 2 pigs next round. This is the correct stable orientation, I'm pretty sure, for pretty much any option that I end up doing. I guess Gemus just gets plow back. Good for them. Yep, sowing one of each. This is the round to sow grain. Alright, well, Gemus is making a comeback here, so hopefully I don't regret just letting them have these plows. On the other hand, like, I'm fine waiting for turn rest. One thing I do want to consider is, do I want to let Arlok grow next round? It does guarantee a midwife. Yeah, Bookcase Potato Ridger definitely wanted Museum, and I mean, I do kind of regret not taking the Bookcase in a lot of ways, but I know in the end I've made good moves, made good draft picks. We're in a very good spot here. Now, pigs. How do I feel about pigs? If cows flip here, I'm not sure how I feel about pigs. If cows don't flip here, I probably just take the pigs. They do come with an extra buyer food. And even though pigs are definitely inflated this game with Cesspit and then Buyer, there is a Constable out there, so the sooner we get these, the better. A Milking Stool for Gemus' first minor pick there. No, I agree. Like, the way it's worked out, Woodcart is probably better. But if it's late grow, I doubt I'm feeling the same way. Had to make a tough choice one way or the other. And Vincent is on my side today. I do want another wood action for turn rest plow, but the fun part of this is that if I get downgraded from Forest to Grove or even to Copse, it'll still be fine. Though Wood Carrier for 4 wood may just be the better play. Unclear. I do want to end up with the joinery here. Not a frequent statement, but it is true. This time. One more Reedstone food is fine. That reed being the Reno to Stone reed. But I do want 1 stone for clay oven, 2 stone for joinery, 5 stone for rooms, and that is not trivial. Hey, Savior. Single grain. Arlok gonna Ock now instead of building and seeing if I'll start or not. A Rustic. Yeah, I forgot about that. Rustic, good. Hey, Trollo. First dock is Land Air. 4 wood, 4 clay in round 9. I think I actually am sufficiently concerned about Arlok's game. Midwife is a bit like childless in this case because if I let Arlok grow, then I get grain. Hey Sapka, yep. There was wood injection this game. Brass Knight didn't build any wood rooms. Arlok only built 1. Furniture Maker, Constable, Ranch Provost, Wood Cart for me, Wood Carrier for me, waiting in the wings still. Truffle Searcher is here. Gemus is plenty fed with their Potato Ridger. Orleans and Alpha, yep. From what I understand, I do expect the competitive scene for Orleans to be pretty dry pretty quick. But for people new to the game, it should be plenty of fun. Okay, bit tough here. I mean, start player also takes me out of 4th seat, so I think it's probably worth it. And I think Clay Oven is a prudent move here on Reno. If I continue to ignore stone next round, I can have an excellent farming round with Clearing Spade. Though, I guess I shouldn't expect to get farmland. Do I let Arlok grow? I get 3 stone and a grain for waiting. Or my plows and a grain. I think the conventional wisdom would be to grow with Woodcart and Stone Weir. Action advantage will be totally fine. I am actually pretty worried about this stone. Though I think there's a chance it wheels. And if it doesn't, I can take sheep or cows, perhaps. Clearing Spade is probably worth the wood here. It might end up being -1 wood, but -1 wood is a hit I can handle here. My wood carrier is worth 6 whenever I decide to play it. Arlok building so many rooms does take them out of huge Ranch Provost situations. I wonder when Brass Knight ends up taking wood. This is a lesson that a lot of newer players won't fully understand, is just how important it is to be super aggressive on wood. This needed to be 3 wood for them, instead they're starting with nothing. Solid move for Arlok to take the stone. Oh, I forgot the food it came with. I need 3 wood. Is anyone taking the sheep? Maybe. These two are... well, no. Gemus is not hungry. If I get cow instead of sheep, that's okay. Gemus taking the cow, though, also makes sense with Milking Stool. Taking a cow now does make it a lot easier for them to get a pair. Or pair it up in stage 5. Just in general, from Rainier in particular, I hear that Orleans is getting pretty repetitive. Oh, there, yeah. I enjoyed the game in my, 2 plays of it, but if I'm playing it for enjoyment more than mastery, which is a bit of a rare case in the first place, but I would rather play Altiplano. I have more fun with literally the starting llama piece in Altiplano, and the games are somewhat similar. Last action here, fish or stone. Hey, Heroic Logic. We get a very late art teacher. Brass Knight does finally take some wood here. And we get, is this a Reno? You're not taking joinery, are you? No, it's Truffle Slicer, of course. They are pretty well set up for Truffle Slicer. So I think I don't want to take wood here, so I can continue interfering in wood through stage 5. I only really need 1 wood action and wood carrier. In terms of breeding, I should breed the pigs. 2 stone or 4 food. I'm getting stone concerns. Just to Reno. Hopefully Brass Knight doesn't take a joinery, but they might. Do I have a chance at joinery this game? There's 9 more stone in the game. And I want 5 of them. And I don't really want to take reedstone, which means I want 4 out of 6. Four out of 6 stone that show up on quarry spaces. Well, that also does work with calcium fertilizers in the end game. Huh. Bit of an odd sew here for Gemus. As opposed to fencing. Fencing, they don't need the capacity right now, so not fencing makes sense. I need a veg and a cow and to fill my spaces for constable, but those are fairly reasonable. Urgent flipping gets me more midwife grain, so I think I'm hoping for that. Despite the aesthetic value of plowing this column, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to plow these 3, because I might have to fence the boot. Well, with none of us having fenced yet, fencing is going to be like a first action in rounds 13 and 14. Notably, Arlok cannot reno fence, and has 1 wood. I would like a Sobake, and a fish this stage. Gemus not understanding the automatic potato ridging, even though they want to anyway. And barely avoiding the timeout. Though I guess breeding phase you aren't given extra time for. We do have Urgent here, so that's a win for the midwife. Should get me 2 more grain in this endgame. Let's see if Arlok is on wood. Yes, indeed, which means I do have time to get these plows down. Hopefully Brass Knight takes the other 3 wood. I'd be more than happy playing Wood Carrier and taking Grove. Though it's possible I don't get Grove either. Two pigs for Gemus. Very reasonable. Very solid action. Ak? Whoa. That is a 6-room, 2-field plow driver. Suffice to say, that's not a typical thing to see. Arlok is just growing last action. So this wood move is not super duper necessary here. Maybe I should have thought about that longer. But it does give me slight chances to fence this round in case Gemus delays. I think I'm just going to go ahead with the fellow grazer plan. It has decent chances at winning Ranch Provost on its own. Brass Knight is fencing here. Okay. Realizing the wood clamps are coming in hard. Neat hunting trophy, though that's just a point. It's not any resources. They're fully renovated. I think I need to start for fences. Or clay for Gemus makes sense. I'm gonna wait to Clearing Spade. Because calcium fertilizers is gonna make this a little weird. Though I guess... No, I should not worry about any resos. Alright, so my uncertainty here is Gemas could Ock, and that would throw off my plans a good bit. But it could look like I'm just starting for 3 wood. If Gemas does Ock, it might be time to just take the veg. We get it through. This one is pretty nasty. Wood Carrier ends up being a great pick. Hey Kidwell. Dead Carrot Museum. We took Wood Carrier Woodcard out of Pack 1, passing a bookcase. Pack 2, Carrot Museum. It's all fine, though. Ooh, I get Lieutenant General Grain from Plow Driver next round. That's fun. This is slightly risky in terms of... Oh, huh. Is this actually what I want to do? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Fellow Grazer for 2 points. You know, with my food not being completely sorted, this might be the better call. This does cap me a bit. But that's fine. I have a lot to do still. And this feels relatively winning. Yeah, but I mean, we hit early growth, the wood cart's up to 10. I'll be fine. This Lieutenant General has only been 4 food so far. But that 4 food is certainly not chopped liver, to maybe not use the greatest metaphor there. Brass Knight does grow first action. Arlok does take wood and truffles. Here is cow, veg, or 6 food for me. I think it has to be cow. You live here. less concerned about the food because I do have grain utilization and fishing as backups. Gemma's starts to guarantee a first action fence. What I hope is they Reno normally and block Arlok from fencing. I do think that gives them second place. Not very sanitary, but at least it's not a pig. Yeah. Ooh, R.I.P. Joinery. Let's lock in a constable. Though Reedstone, Two Stone, both viable. Gemus needs to Reno now for me to have a hope of Renoing, because I think Brass Knight will be on the case. I guess Brass Knight could Reno now, and that would work for me too. Grain Sieve is going to be worth something as long as I, you know, put a tiny bit of effort into it. Sometimes I might go for Reno parts here just to buy myself a better action in round 14. I don't really know what that better action would be. So a bit of a weird stone move for Gemus. The Stone Oven is out there, and I suppose Stone Oven is fine for me as well. So here instead of something like 6 food is surprising. Okay. Use Clearing Spade. Use Clearing Spade. Use Clearing Spade. I didn't really have to fence like this because I did have Spin Doctor. Well, I still do have Spin Doctor in my hand. Maybe that's what I do to Reno. Nope. Gemus is going for a double Reno, apparently. Fair enough, they're allowed to do that. Gemus? I mean, I'm sure I'm pronouncing it terribly, but... Gemusa. Noted. Well, anyone watching this, forgive me for my absolutely horrible pronunciation. Yeah, I do know it's the German word for vegetable. I actually faced this opponent in the Bois de Jus days. Could just play Fellow Grazer here, but this gets me closer to Stone Oven. Surely I did not play this optimally. Arlok's actually not super far away points-wise. But no Constable, no Provost there, I would assume. And they are double counting, well, they're currently counting joinery points when I assume they'll fence. Oh, you know, there was an open-air farmer in this draft. I wonder if Arlok has open-air farmer. Nope, can't do that, has 2 stables. Cesspit Pigs found a lot of truffles. We've seen 3 to 5 point truffles before. Like, it's nice. It's definitely a good card for them. I don't think it's possible that Arlok has a minor I didn't see. Cesspit, Clay Supports, and I want to say Hunting Trophy I didn't see. I mean, if they show up with field fences, then I don't really know what to do about that. Gypsy's Croc for a point. Yeah, by fencing the way I did, I definitely capped myself in terms of category scoring. Sobake is a couple points. Now, the question is cultivation just as good? No. Not quite. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 food not enough to take cultivation instead of Sobake. Kotor, I think you could be right, but also please don't bring something up if I haven't brought it up. I want no assistance from my chat in any way. I'm not immediately going for Clay and Stone Oven here because I find it odd Gemus, or Gamusa, went for second Reno parts here. It makes me think they have something like Dwelling Plan, even though I don't remember it. And Dwelling Plan, of course, blocks Stone Oven. I will want to play Fellow Grazer pretty soon here. Thought it was Profit, but then Reno fenced that out the window. It could still be Profit, but yeah. Arlok does just get free fencing here because of the Ren fence first action. Arlok has many 2-point actions available. So fencing here can make a lot of sense for them. They're never getting Constable. They're like 5 actions away from Constable. Yes, 5 actions and illegalness away from Constable, thank you. Find a couple points there. Veggie is maybe a better action for me. Maybe that should have been Veggie. But Arlok still has plenty of 2-point actions. Wood is 2 points. Arlok has 44, plus currently fencing for 6 is 50. Hello, Zizak. Hello, hello, Lizuratoire. Yeah, it is very close here. They are just taking wood. I guess wood, it comes with a truffle point. So they're 51. With 1 action gets them to 53. So if I can find... Well, Veg Seeds gets me the tie. So I'm going to lock that in. Then we have stone actions that can give me a 4th veg point. Clay Stone Oven is 3 points for 2 moves. I think I have this unless Arlok has one last surprise. Nope, doesn't look like it. Fencing for 8 minus 3. Did I miscalculate? Yeah, they fence for 5, 53. Oh, I did miscalculate. They're getting 55. And I'm currently 53. So I do need the stone oven. And this is Arloc's time to major minor if they can. They're instead taking a different 2-point move. Okay, as long as Brass Knight doesn't major minor, which I can actually encourage by taking the other clay spot. I think this is actually a time where one clay might be better. 7... I think it's literally my correct move. Field fences still kills me, but if they had field fences, I don't know why they would take cops instead of grain seeds. And again, I don't think they can have field fences as long as I didn't see hunting trophy. I mean, you could say it's social engineering, but I think it is just like the game theory optimal move. Hey, Super Zarny. Good to see you, pal. You want my top 3 zoo animals. Well, I saw the National Aviary 2 weeks ago, and that's fresh on my mind. So, a bird-centric zoo will be the source of my answers. And for that, I'll say penguins, toucans, and the Andean condor. Yeah, Salvador. So here, the only risk of me losing my ideal line was Brass Knight taking major minor improvement. So 4 clay was their best move as far as I can tell. So I want to let them have their best move because they're not in contention for the victory. So this move is sufficient for me to win if it convinces my opponent to not take the space that blocks me. So this was a very rare situation where 1 clay was better than 4. And I will win by 1 point this way. You just got new socks with toucans on them, best purchase ever. If you ever get to see toucans in person, this is not just for Super, this is for everyone, they are insane. Like, I am so happy I got to see real-life toucans because it's unreal. Okay, I feel good about this one. Not the perfect endgame, but good enough. Hit both community bonuses. Yeah, thanks, Lizardtwa. You've seen them flying around visiting Rio. Oh, that makes me want to visit Rio even more. There was actually cheap airfare from LA showing up for Rio. Surprised I didn't leave an empty field in the last sow for some clearing spade quarry fertilizer. That's a good point. I just missed that. My thinking was that there was no opportunity to sow a second veggie, but I forgot about calcium fertilizer because, yeah, I could have veggied over. Yeah, that would have been more accurate. So, you know, even when you think you play well, you make plenty of mistakes. That's just Agricola. 27 wood from board, 21 from cards. I spent all but 2 of them. Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. How do I manage to travel a lot and play Agricola 4 times a week? What's my secret? My secret is that I don't work many hours. I spend very, very little money outside of traveling. Like, if I told you my grocery bill, you might not believe it. And when I travel, I'm not playing Agricola 4 times a week, necessarily. Is LA not super expensive? It's pretty expensive. But I have a relatively good deal at my place. I have access to a car without owning one. You know, I do a lot of things like that that add up. But mostly, you wouldn't believe my grocery bill. What you're hearing is that chat is a very high priority. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, okay. Glad that this game worked out. Hopefully it was an enjoyable one to watch. Apologies again for missing yesterday's stream. Just things happened. I forgot that I had committed to do stuff. So, take care everyone. I'll be off tomorrow, most likely. Small chance I'll play a game for stream, but very doubtful. I'll try to be back on Thursday for another game. Hope to see you all then, or whenever you make it back next time. Thanks so much, everyone.